Hey everyone, welcome to Sidetrack Adventures. This is Steve. Right now we're outside of Pahrump, Nevada, and today we're going to be exploring a place where a man, after a near-death experience, built a huge religious monument out here in the middle of nowhere. And we'll take a look at what happened to his dream after he died. We are about an hour or so from Las Vegas, a few miles outside of Pahrump on Tecopa Road. This old sign on Tecopa Road still marks the way, and Cathedral Canyon should be just a few miles down this road. These old tires should mark the spot for Cathedral Canyon, so let's head over and take a look. I'm kind of excited to see this place. And it looks like even the tires have taken a bit of a beating over the years. There used to be a suspension bridge that crossed the canyon, and you can see the foundations for it right in front of us. The bridge was removed about 20 years ago. This place was the creation of a man named Roland Wiley, and at one time it was really built up. But we'll get into his story in just a minute. First, I want to kind of get a look at the canyon from above here. Looking at the canyon now, aside from this road at the bottom and this partial statue of Jesus over here, it's kind of hard to tell that there was ever anything here. But had we come here 30 years ago, this place would have been something else. As I mentioned, this place was created by a man named Roland Wiley. Wiley was born in Iowa in 1904 and received a law degree from George Washington University in 1927. In 1929, he moved out to Las Vegas and set up a law practice. At the time, Las Vegas didn't have a single streetlight yet. Wiley fell in love with the Pahrump area, and in 1936, he bought a 14,000-acre ranch here, part of which would become Cathedral Canyon, where we are now. In 1939, he was elected district attorney for Clark County, where Las Vegas is, and built an airstrip on his property so he could get back and forth between Las Vegas and his ranch faster. Now it's about an hour drive from Las Vegas to here, but back then it would take about 3 hours or so. In 1942, Wiley ran for governor of Nevada, but only received about 37% of the vote. I think it's time to head down into the canyon to check it out and see how Wiley went from practicing law to this. Here's the old entrance gate. Now you could drive through here, but we're going to walk through so we don't miss anything. It looks like it says something on this pole. Respect. Cemetery ahead. With cemetery spelled wrong. R.I.P. Kehoe. And we'll get to Kehoe's story a little bit later. His marker is actually on top of the canyon, it's not ahead of us. There was somebody that was murdered here in Cathedral Canyon just a few years ago, and we'll talk about that a little bit later as well. In the 1960s, Roland Wiley caught tularemia, also known as rabbit fever, and almost died. While he was hospitalized, he said he felt subconscious instincts to build a cathedral in the desert. And of course, a cathedral has to have restrooms. And here is where the restrooms were for Cathedral Canyon. Now this place was wired for electricity and had plumbing. You could kind of see where the plumbing was here. And here's a light switch. Doesn't work. Nothing's wired up anymore, but this is one of the restrooms. And here's the other. Anyways, Wiley had this inspiration to build a cathedral in the desert. With the cathedral walls built by Mother Nature, and the roof be in the sky above. He called this monument Cathedral Canyon, and this place was built at a great expense to Wiley. He paved the road through the canyon, installed the lights, the plumbing, a sound system for music, and even a 30-foot waterfall. Paving the road through the canyon alone cost him $12,000. Cathedral Canyon opened for visitors in 1972 and would see as many as 4,000 visitors a month. It was open 24 hours a day, and there was no charge to visit. This statue of Jesus was custom built for this place, but over the years it's been used for target practice, and now it's all but destroyed. Wiley died in 1994 at the age of 90, and since his death, this place has been, unfortunately, just absolutely destroyed by vandals. It's said that at its height, there were over 100 different religious items, from neon-painted Virgin Mary statues to quotes by Abraham Lincoln and Albert Einstein here. There were even stained glass windows in a lot of the little alcoves. One thing that hasn't been completely destroyed, though it does look like it has been shot, is this image of the Sermon on the Mount that used to be behind the waterfall. Here's where the pool at the bottom of the waterfall once was. Now, I'm not exactly sure where the water came from. I mean, obviously it came from up top and fell 30 feet into the pool, but I'm not sure where the waterfall got its water. Obviously, there was some sort of plumbing system here, but nothing's left of it. I don't know where the water came from. And here's a close-up of the image. As you can see, a few bullet holes in it. Back in the day when this place was active, the canyon would be filled with music, and right behind us here at the waterfall, you could still see one of the old speakers. It's right over here on top of this little hill. And I have to be careful, there are bees everywhere. It looks like they've made the speaker their home. But here's one of the old speakers. A lot of these alcoves would have also had statues in them. It looks like the crows have made good use of this one. There's a trail heading off to the side here. We'll see where this goes. And we got a lizard going with us, it looks like. Since there's a trail heading back here, there was probably something back here at one point, but it doesn't look like there's anything here now. Just a dead end. There's a small platform over here. Let's head up these steps and see where they go. So in 2021, this place was also the site of a gruesome murder where a guy had been kidnapped in Las Vegas, tortured for hours, then he was forced to walk off the cliff into this canyon before they finally shot him to death. All three of the killers were sentenced to life in prison, but it's kind of just another sad chapter in the desecration of this place. There's a platform here. Maybe there was a statue here or something at some point. But from here, we can kind of get a look back at the canyon. Here's the back of that speaker we saw from down at the waterfall. We can kind of get a look at that. It looks like some of the wiring is still here. Somehow, I don't think it still works though. There is just stuff everywhere. It's kind of sad to think about how much time and effort this guy put into building this place. And just a few decades after he died, it's been reduced to this. There's still one more story about this place to tell, and for that, we have to head back up top. From back on top of the canyon, you could see the airfield that Roland Wiley had built in front of us. Here is the grave of Kehoe. Kehoe was a Native American who had been linked to several killings in the 19 teens in the Colorado River area and was the scapegoat for many more. He was kind of a boogeyman for the area at the time. Some claim he killed at least 26 people, but probably nowhere near close to that. Kehoe managed to evade capture by law enforcement, but in 1940, his mummified remains were found in a cave near the Colorado River. He had been dead for many years, so the death date on this marker is just a guess. Kehoe's body would end up at the Las Vegas Elks Club, who put it on display in a replica cave as part of Heldorado Days, which is a big event to celebrate Las Vegas's history. In the 1970s, Wiley purchased Kehoe's remains, feeling that even he deserved a proper burial, and had them buried here. Maybe not exactly here, there's a rumor they're actually buried elsewhere on the property, but the marker was placed here, overlooking the canyon. That's our look at Cathedral Canyon and the story of Roland Wiley. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up, consider subscribing, and we'll see you next week.